everybody, and welcome back to Story Time. I hope everyone is doing okay. My name is Liz, and today we're going to read a story about a little boy whose name is Max, and he goes on an awfully big adventure. He calls it a wild rumpus, and a rumpus is another word for party, and I like going to parties, and I have a feeling that you like going to parties too. But let me know, any comments, just tap them below on our Facebook page, Quaggy CC. We love to hear your comments and your suggestions, so I can't wait to hear about those. We're going to read today Where the Wild Things Are. And it's a story, and the pictures were drawn by Maurice Sendax. And apparently when Maurice Sendax was thinking about drawing and creating the wild things, he based them on his aunts and uncles, which I'm not sure is a compliment, who knows. But anyway, let's find out about Max and the wild things. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. Oh yeah, look, he's got his splendid wolf suit on. He's holding a fork in his hand. He's chasing his little dog, and he looks like he's going to cause some mischief in this photo. And his mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." And he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. Oh yes, can you see? Look, his bed. They're growing trees out of his bed. And there's a vine coming out of his door there. And grew. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. I can't see the bed anymore, or the door. Can you? And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through the night and day. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. Oh, look at that one. It's in the sea. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars, and they gnashed their terrible teeth, and they rolled their terrible eyes. Oh, they roll your eyes. And they showed their terrible claws. Oh, they look very sharp, those claws. Till Max said, "Be still." And he tamed them with a magic trick of staring into their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened, and they called him the most wild thing of all. And they made him king of all the wild things. Oh yes, look, he's got his crown on now. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." Here they are in this picture. It looks like they're dancing, so moving their arms up into the air, looking at the moon. What can we see in this picture? We can see Max and his wild thing friends swinging on the branches like they're chimpanzees. And there's Max looking very regal, holding his orb and staff and his crown on his head still. And he's being carried by one of the wild things. "Now stop," said Max, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, king of all the wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. Oh yeah. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars. Can you roar your terrible roar? Roar. And they gnashed their terrible teeth. Gnash, gnash, gnash. And they rolled their terrible eyes. Roll them round and round. And they showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And he sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. Do you know what? It was still hot.